Hi Anahata Yoga community. Welcome to Gentle Yoga and Sound Healing. My name is Veda Spidle. Today we'll be focusing on a meditative practice and staying on the ground. So I recommend finding a place to practice in that feels comfortable for you and a surface that you practice on that has a little bit of softness. So it might mean a yoga mat, it might mean a blanket down on a yoga mat or a blanket down on a carpet. And also have a few props with you. You can have a few blankets on the side, a few pillows. If you don't have extra blankets, bath towels will be just fine. For at the end, it can also be really nice to have a pillow for underneath your head and under the knees, and also an eye pillow. And if you don't have an eye pillow, a folded face towel can work just as good. And for those of you that wish to make donations, you can make donations to the Save a Project. And that helps to support staff and teachers at Anahata Yoga. If you're not able to, that's completely fine. Please continue to practice with us as we're all supporting each other in different ways. So we're going to start seated. Make sure you set up your spot so that you feel comfortable. I'm actually going to open up a blanket right now for the length of my practice space. And this will just give me that extra softness that I was talking about, since we will be staying on the ground for the practice. And then for starting seated, I recommend sitting elevated on a folded blanket or two. And you don't have to start cross-legged. If you do and you find that your knees are a lot higher than the tops of your hips, you'll want to prop yourself up a little bit higher so that you support your posture. And try not to bump into any bookcases. Okay, so propping yourself up. And then as the legs open up, you might find, especially if you're sitting up high, to have extra support underneath the outer edges of the legs. All right, so you see me doing that here. So I am healing from a sprain, and for some of the poses that I'll talk us through, I might be able to do it on one side and not the other. You might hear me give cueing that I might not be demonstrating, but I will give you explanations on what you can do further for yourself. So make sure that you do only what feels right for you today, what feels safe for your body, and yeah, take care of yourself through your practice. Let's get comfortable sitting up tall. Close the eyes or soft gaze. Let's do a side breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Another one in through the nose, gently hold it at the top. Side out, make some noise. Taking these first few minutes of practice to settle into the space that you're in. Settle into your body, feeling the sitting bones rooted, the spine elongated, the top of the head reaching to the sky. Soft in the skin. Acknowledging yourself here for showing up for your practice, for your self-care. And energetically acknowledging your fellow yogis, family, friends, communities, all those that are close to you, important to you. Feel that connection. And then further acknowledging humanity. Settling back into yourself and into your breath. As you breathe in through the nose, feeling the belly gently expand. And as you exhale, feeling the navel draw in. So with the intention of our practice today being meditative, mindful, We allow ourselves to take things a little slower, to feel a little more, to be present. Deepen the breath, allowing the inhale now to expand the belly, the ribs, the chest. And as you exhale, relaxing chest, ribs, and belly. You can remain as you are, or bring the palms together at heart center, Anjali Mudra, letting the heart float up to meet the thumbs. We'll do 3 rounds of Om. You can join, you can hum, or you can just listen. Let's first inhale together. Let it go completely. And inhale. You can keep the eyes closed, releasing the palms to the thighs or knees. Elbows are relaxed, spine is elongated. Inhale here. And as you exhale, slowly lower chin to chest, rock the head side to side. If it doesn't feel good, keep the head upright and look left to right. Once more to each side. And chin returns to chest. Bring the head up to neutral. Let the breath go. Hands on the knees or the thighs, depending on how you're sitting. Torso circles, hinge forward, still keeping the sitting bones rooted. And begin counterclockwise circles, drawing the top of the head around the hips. And reverse direction. Return to neutral spine. Let the breath go. Change the cross of your legs if that's available to you. Sitting tall. And this time, shoulder rolls. Inhale the shoulders up. Exhale back and down. Breathe with it. Reverse direction. Up, forward, down. And reverse once to reset. Inhale up, back, and down. Good. Palms to the thighs or knees. Hinge forward again. Clockwise circles. Top of the head around the hips. So we want to feel this movement in the spine, the size of the circles up to you and your body, and letting it be really meditative. Reverse direction. Good. Come back to neutral spine. Sit tall. Relax the arms by your sides. Let them be loose. Inhale, shoulders up towards the ears. Suspend for a moment and drop. 2 more. Let stuff go. And bring the soles of the feet together, bound angle. Knees drop open away from each other. Support your legs as needed. So you'll notice here one side of one leg, right? My right leg needs to be higher than the left, but I'm matching the left leg. So make sure that you do your best to match both legs so that the hips are still working as evenly as possible. Sitting tall, drop the gaze to the tip of the nose or close the eyes. If you want to, you can also close the eyes and bring your gaze to the third eye between the brows. And then reestablish your belly breath or your full deep breath. So we'll be here for about 5 to 8 more breaths. See if you can settle into the shape, but keep the spine elongated. Muscles of the face are soft. Giving yourself a chance to experience the pose. A few more moments. You can stay like this, or you can go a little bit further, hinging at the hips. Hands can go in front of you on fingertips, bent at the knuckles or palms flat. Keep the shoulder blades towards the spine, reaching forward from the heart space. Soles of the feet pressing together, knees press away from each other. Steady, even breath. Allow yourself to slow down. And then slowly walk the hands in, coming up to a neutral spine. Use your hands to draw the knees together, feet to the floor. Widen the feet wider than the hips. Lean back on the hands. Most likely you'll be up on the fingertips, but if you're on the palms, that's fine. Shoulder blades hugging together. The heart is lifting. One-legged windshield wipers. I'll mirror you. Drop the right knee in towards the left ankle. It's not about reaching the floor. Inhale the leg up. Exhale, other leg. And we want to feel this gentle movement in the hips. You might feel a bit of that gentle stretching in the low back. Being really present with the sensations in the body. If at any point something doesn't feel good, you just don't do it. And you always readjust so that you're keeping yourself safe. Working with your body where it's at. About 2 more on each side. Match the breath and movement. Well done. Coming back to neutral, bring the feet in, and then come into table. Now, if you need to support your knees or your ankles, you'll put a folded blanket or some type of support behind you on your practice space so that you can drape your ankle over that support. Still letting the toenails rest down on the floor. If you need extra support for the knees, you can always open another blanket underneath the knees. Wrists are underneath the shoulders, the fingers are wide, knees are underneath the hips. Take a neutral spine for a moment. This means that the spine is relatively parallel to the floor, including the neck. So you're not looking down at the knees. You're looking down at the floor about 6 inches to 12 inches in front of the hands on center, keeping the head in neutral. Take 2 breaths here, just feel. Another deep breath. We begin cat-cows, moving from the tailbone. Inhale, the tailbone scoops up. Belly drops, heart gaze forward. And as you exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, tailbone scoops up. Belly drops, heart gaze forward. And as you exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine, chin to chest. Few more. Now you can take this a step further. When you exhale, continue to round the spine, but then press your hips to heels, going as far as feels comfortable for you. Inhale, glide forward into cow. Exhale, round and press back. If it doesn't feel good, just continue with your cat-cows. Meditative movement and breath. So every steady breath gives us the opportunity to connect to that quiet space inside. About 2 more rounds of breath. And next time that you come up to table, pause there, neutral spine, let the breath go. And then widen the hands for the hip release. Bring the legs in towards midline. They can touch or not, that's fine. Just have the legs closer in than hip width. And begin to allow the hips to rock side to side. So we're slowly lowering the hips left to right. without trying to touch the floor. That's not the idea here. Keeping the hands, the knees in contact with the floor. My toenails are pretty much in contact with the floor as well. The inhale through center, the exhale to one side. Inhale through center, exhale to the other side. About 2 more. Breathing with it. And when that feels complete for you, we return to center and then come into child's pose. Big toes will touch, knees go wide, sit back to the heels. Now, if you need to have some space for your knee joints, you'll put a blanket or two between your hips and heels. A pillow here can be really nice. This is also really nice if you need to take off some pressure off the ankle. All right, so you're sitting back and then you come down to the forehead to the floor. You can put your forehead on your stacked hands. If you have a yoga block, you can put a block there if you need it, and hands to the floor. Now, if this isn't doable for you, you can always lay on your back and hug the knees into the chest. You can also take puppy, which you would do from table, and then the upper body bows forward, forehead to the floor. Okay, so we'll be here for about a minute. Awareness, resting on the breath. And see if you can feel the breath expand into the back body. Feel yourself breathing. Few more cycles. Deep breaths. Another breath. Well done. You can stay here longer if you need to. Otherwise, if you feel ready, press yourself up to table. Let the breath go. Readjust any props that you need to. Now from table, you'll bring your left knee out to the side. So I'm doing the same side as you right now, choosing my left first so you can see me, right? So your left knee goes out to the side and you're drawing circles with the knee, reverse direction. Remember, don't do anything that doesn't feel good. And then extend the legs straight out behind you. Toes can tuck under if that's available to you. And then shoulders remain over the wrist. Level the hips, inhale here, and exhale, push the mat away from you, stretch into the extended leg. Inhale, shoulders over wrist. Exhale, push the mat away. One more. Shoulders return over the wrist. You can stay like this, or maybe you come up on the fingertips with the right hand. Maybe you float the right arm, palm facing midline. Maybe you also float the left leg. If you floated the leg, toes point down, another breath. And then slowly release. And now we do the other side. So the right knee opens out to the side. Draw circles with the knee. Size of the circles are up to you and your body. Reverse direction. Level the hips. Extend the right leg out behind you. 3 pushbacks. Inhale here. Exhale, push the mat away from you. Inhale, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, push the mat away. One more. And then shoulders return over the wrists. You can stay here or come up on the left fingertips, tenting the hand. Maybe the hand floats off the floor, maybe also the leg. Breathe here. One more breath. And then slowly release, table. Let the breath go. Now stay like this or bring yourself up to a high kneel. Let the arms be loose by your sides. Shake them out. Open and close the hands a few times as if you're squeezing sponges. And relax the arms, shoulder rolls. Inhale up. forward, down. Oh, just kidding. Up, back, down. Reverse direction. Now up, forward, down. And reverse once more. Inhale, up, back, and down. Good. Now have the palms face forward. Bend the elbows behind you. Keep the shoulder blades hugging together. Keep the hips leveled. And interlace your hands behind you for a clasp. So you're interlacing the fingers, thumb pads press. Start to straighten the arms as you reach the heart up. Maybe a gentle back bend. Another breath. And slowly return to neutral spine. Walk the hands forward into table. Let the breath go. And then stay here or child's pose. Set yourself up so that you're supporting yourself. And about a minute again. Reestablishing your connection to your deep breath. Remaining connected to the quiet space inside. Even if you're feeling it for only glimpses at a time, it's there. It's always there. Keep breathing. Conscious breath. About 2 to 3 more breaths. Deepen the breath if you can without strain. When you feel ready, bring yourself up through table and then come down onto the belly. This is again a nice place to still have support underneath the ankles if you find that your knees need a little extra support. So that support under the ankles will support the knees. And then you'll bring yourself down onto your belly and create a pillow for your forehead with your stacked hands or your forearms. Create some space in your back. So I'm keeping my head lifted so it's a little bit easier for me to teach right now with the mic. But you see if you can have your head down on center. Lift your right leg off the floor just an inch or two. Reach out through the big toe. Release the leg down. Do the same on the other side. Lift, lengthen, lower. Once more on each side. This creates space in the low back. Inhale, lift the leg just an inch or two, not higher than the hips. Reach out through the big toe. Release, left leg lifts, lengthen, lower. Side breath. Now keeping the forehead down on center, bend the knees and rock the legs side to side. So your feet are facing up towards the sky. Again, it's not about touching the floor with the feet. Meditative movement. And then extend the legs out again behind you. Lift the right leg, lengthen, lower. Lift the left, lengthen, lower. Now, if this is enough, stay. Otherwise, place your hands to either side of the chest for baby cobra. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and down the back. Engage the legs by pressing down through the toes, simultaneously out through the tips of the toes. Inhale, lift up, and we make this dynamic. Exhale, slowly lower down. Keep that movement going. Meditative motion. Inhale, up, baby cobra. Exhale, down. Keep going. Legs stay engaged. Next time you touch down, stay there. You can either rest again on midline or rest onto one of your ears with your arms by your sides, palms up. Deep breathing. If that was enough, stay where you are. Otherwise, second round. Hands to either side of the chest. Baby cobra, engage the legs. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, forehead down. Now keep the forehead down. Inhale. Exhale, heels come in towards the buttocks. Inhale, legs open. Exhale. Inhale, float the forehead up, heart up. Baby Cobra. Exhale, down. Inhale. Exhale, heels hug in towards the body. Inhale, legs release to the floor. Exhale here. Inhale, float the gaze, the heart up. Exhale, lower. Inhale here. Exhale, heels hug in towards the body. Inhale, legs release. Exhale here. Inhale, gaze up, heart up. Exhale, release. Inhale here. Exhale, heels in. Inhale, release the legs. And exhale, rest on midline or on your opposite ear, your other ear. Sigh breath. Another moment here. Just really present with yourself, with the sensations in the body, with your breath. And when you feel ready, forehead to center, press yourself up through table and into child's pose. If you wish to take cat-cows instead, you may do so. If there's anything else you'd like to take instead, that's fine. You want to give yourself a chance to release the low back. Deep breathing. Remaining connected to the meditative space, to the calm inside. When you feel ready, press yourself up to table, let the breath go. And then bring yourself onto your seat, open the legs out wide. I recommend to sit up at least on one folded blanket. You don't have to. And then if you need to, you support with blankets underneath the knees. This is especially important if you're sitting up a lot higher. Use your hands to adjust your buttocks, moving the buttocks out from underneath you so that your sitting bones are rooted. Hands go behind you, and then point and flex the feet. So you'll notice here, even though there might be a limitation in the physical body, that you still visualize both sides of the body moving equally in balance, as we are more than just our physical body. Energy, prana is still moving. So point the toes up, take a deep breath in. Let it go. And you can stay here, or you can bring your hands to the hips, tilt the pelvis forward so you're on the front end of the sitting bones, hands to the floor in front of you, shoulder blades hug towards the spine. You can stay here, or you can fold further down. Make sure that you're hinging from the hips, lengthening forward, going only as far as feels available to you, and then we'll be here for about a minute, finding that place again where you can hold the stillness in the body and you can be really connected to your deep, full, steady breath. Eyes can close if needed. Slowing ourselves down, even in our movements. Just notice how it feels to be still. Keep connected to the deep breaths. If this is enough for you, stay, or for the last few breaths, maybe bowing forward a little bit more. When you feel ready, walk yourself upright, release the breath. Hands behind you, lift the heart up, take a gentle back bend, point the toes as much as you can. Keep the back of the heels connected to the floor, another breath. And then return to neutral spine. Hands go underneath the knees, bend the knees, feet to the floor, and then have the feet wider than the hips. Lean back on the hands. And again, one-legged windshield wipers, the same that we did in the beginning of our practice. Match the breath and movement. Make this as meditative as possible, even with the movement. About 2 more to each side. And next time, knees point up, walk the feet in towards midline, and then extend the legs out in front of you. So I'm going to turn to my side here so you can see me in a different perspective. You can stay in the same direction if you need to. All right, and then putting support underneath the knees. Back of the heels touching the floor, hands go behind you, or they go in line with the hips, palms down, fingertips forward. Hug the shoulder blades together, top of the head over the pelvic floor, which is between the sitting bones. If you feel that you're rounding here in your low back, sit up as tall as you can and use your hands to move the buttocks out from underneath you again so you feel more rooted through the sitting bones. If you still feel rounded, you might need to sit up higher. Okay, stay here. Dandasana, staff pose. Hands on the floor, hands in line with hips. Drop the gaze to the big toes without moving the head. So notice how even to sit still, it takes effort. See if you can just be in the stillness. Acknowledge the effort it takes. Wiggle the toes. And toes point upright, arms by your sides. Inhale the arms up, palms touch overhead. Exhale the hands down through midline. Now you can close your eyes. We're going to do this a few more times. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, palms down through midline. Keep the spine as elongated as you can. Few more. Movement and breath are connected. One more. And release the hands. From here, you can come off of your support, move that off to the side, have your props within reach. We are making our way to laying down. Okay, now you have the option of using your hands to help you to lay down and you just bring yourself down, or you can do a little bit of core work here, feet to the floor, toes point forward, knees are bent, and then you bring the arms up by your sides, tuck the tailbone under, and one vertebra at a time, slowly release down. As slow as possible. And then once you're down, hug the knees into the chest. Rock side to side, massaging the back. Draw circles with the knees. Reverse direction. And now squeeze the knees into the chest. Maybe float the forehead up to meet the knees. And full body stretch. Interlace the fingers. Roll the palms open away from you. You can point and flex the feet. Keep stretching out through the palms. Another breath. And release the arms by your sides. Bend the knees for windshield wipers. Open the legs wider, the feet wider than the hips, and rock the legs side to side. Now in this case, if you are comfortable, if your body's comfortable with the legs touching down to either side, that's fine. You can also put a blanket support on either outer edge of the legs to bring the floor a little bit closer to you. Now continue this windshield wiper movement, but bring the feet in closer towards midline and continue side to side. Make this meditative. Match the breath and movement. To the side is an exhale. To the center, it's an inhale. Slow down. Let your body unwind tension and gripping. Physically feel yourself in that meditative space. So it's not just that we're feeling it mentally, emotionally, but see if you can physically feel your body as if you were sitting and meditating, even through movement. Come back to center, feet to the floor. Take a breath here. And draw the right knee in towards the chest. You can extend the other leg all the way out with the toes pointing up if that's available to you. Point and flex the right foot. Draw circles with it. I'm working on the same side as you. And then draw circles with the right knee. The left hand can be resting on the left hip, reverse direction. And hug the knee into the chest, setting up for a gentle twist. Place the right foot to the floor. The left leg will need to extend for this. If that's uncomfortable, you can just drop your knees to the left. Otherwise, if you have your left leg extended, you'll press down through the feet, float the hips up and to the right, lower the hips down, and allow the bottom leg to turn with you as you draw the right knee across the body. And gaze can go opposite of the knees. Right arm can stretch out into a letter T with the palm up. Bottom leg needs to turn with you. That means the left toes are pointing in the same direction as the right knee. Come back to center. Readjust to midline. Squeeze the right leg in. Left knee comes in to join. Float the forehead up to meet the knees. Take a full body stretch. And bend both knees, feet to the floor. Hug the left knee into the chest. If it feels okay, extend the right leg all the way out. Now point and flex the left foot. Draw circles with it. And draw circles with the left knee. Guiding the knee around the hip, reverse direction. And hug the knee into the chest. Left foot comes to the floor. So as a reminder, if extending the other leg doesn't feel good, both feet can come to the floor and you drop the knees to the side. Otherwise, right leg is extended. Left foot presses into the floor. Float the hips up gently to the left and down. This allows the hips to stack. And then allow the left knee to come across the body. Hips are stacking. Bottom leg turns with you. And gaze can go opposite of the knees. Relax the face. Easy breathing here. Another breath. And slowly come back to center. Readjust to midline. Squeeze the left knee in. Right leg comes in to join. Float the forehead up if you can. Full body stretch. And from here, You're going to bring the soles of the feet together, setting up for a bound angle and bringing a blanket or a pillow. If you have yoga blocks, those go on the outer edges of the knees to support. Use some type of support here as we're taking this in a restorative fashion. You can place a blanket across the hips, your eye pillow, you can grab that. Arms by your sides, palms up. You can be by your sides with the arms, letter T or cactus. So we'll be here for a few minutes before taking Shavasana. You'll hear me pull out the bowls and start to play them. So take a moment to adjust into the shape. If it's not doable, just extend the legs out and bring blankets or pillows underneath the knees. You can also have the feet to the floor and have the knees drop in at midline, feet a little wider than the hips. Once you feel settled, deep breath in, full breath out. Relax the body. Settle into the breath. Steady, easeful breath. And let the mind rest on the breath. Let go. attention back enough to hear my voice, you can remain in reclined bound angle, laying on your back with the soles of the feet together and knees open to the side. Or you can slowly extend the legs out, taking a stretch if you need to, placing pillows under the knees, maybe one under the head, covering up in a blanket, eye pillow, anything else you need to be comfortable, and settling back in. Awareness returns to the breath. To the body. And keeping the eyes closed, enjoy a slow awakening, wiggling toes and fingers, rocking the head side to side. Maybe taking a full body stretch. And then taking windshield wipers or hugging the knees into the chest, rocking gently side to side. Rolling over to your comfortable side when you feel ready, pausing there in the fetal position, taking care to support your head, and deepen the breath. When you feel ready, using the strength of your arms to press yourself up into a comfortable seat, still keeping the eyes closed. And once seated, bring the hands together at heart center and take a few moments here to notice how you feel. There's no right or wrong here, just observe. Be present with yourself just as you are. And with gratitude, we'll close with the single sound of Om. Receive your breath. Om. Bowing head to heart in honor of each other, ourselves, and this practice. Thank you so much for showing up today for yourself, energetically supporting each other, and for giving me the honor of guiding you in your practice. Namaste.